Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock with me, Reliikgaming. And in the last episode, we made the Tinkers Construct Smeltery and the coke oven. The coke oven has now burnt through all of the coal that I put in there, and it's produced a good amount of creosote oil and also some coal coke, which is going to come in handy. The smeltery, well, that hasn't done anything yet because we've not got any lava yet, which, well, we have, but we need to produce some more. And that's going to be the first thing that we cover off today once we start doing some stuff. But first of all, what have I done since the end of the last episode? Well, not a lot as it happens. I've extended the platform out a little bit. So up here, got a little bit of extra space, and I didn't want stuff to be so cramped down here, so I've just increased the size of the sides. I've also sifted some dirt using the leaves here that I had in here to compost down, sorry. And we've got some bits and pieces here, of which the thing that I'm most happy about is we've got some rubber tree seeds. They have got quite a low drop chance, so I feel like I've been quite lucky there. I think there was only about 10 blocks of dirt that I sifted to get that. So yeah, quite happy. And yeah, just a final word before we do sort of actually move on to the lava. The reason I just want to I just wanted to touch on the reason why we're doing stuff in the way that we're doing them. And if you've watched any other FTB Infinity Skyblock videos, then you probably noticed that other people are doing pretty much the same thing, and there is a reason for that, and that is the way that this pack has been put together. It's very sort of like tightly knit with the way that you have to finish a certain thing to get a certain resource or a certain machine in order to progress to the next machine, and that can't be broken, certainly in the early game. And I suspect kind of later on as well, there's going to be a certain amount of that. And the key to this pack really is understanding that. And once you understand that, you can quite easily plan out what you need to do and the order that you need to do it in. And the pack suddenly doesn't become as hard. As I say, this is only early game for me, so it's probably going to get a lot harder on the thought process as we move on. And that kind of leads us on quite nicely to what we're going to do today. And that is, as I say, we're going to get this lava production sorted, which is going to require making the Crucible furnace. Now, I'm only going to make one at first, and I'm going to use this lava source block here to heat that. But in between episodes, I'm intending to increase production quite a lot, and I'll probably use some of this area over here to do it. And then I kind of want to move on to... Oh, we're going to get a bucket. Sorry, almost forgot that. And then after we've got that, I really want to kind of start looking at the auto sieve, because that's going to save quite a lot of time, and then that will lead us into our sort of first power requirements as well. So, without further ado, let's get the Crucible furnace made, and we can then get the the smeltery working as well. The Crucible furnace, relatively easy. If I just go in and show you, it's nothing that we haven't got already. Actually spell. So we want the unfired one here. This just takes this porcelain clay, which is a bit of bone meal and a bit of clay, and we're going to need 7 of those altogether, so that's relatively easy. So let's just grab those bits. I don't think I've got the clay on me. That's in there, so we need 7 of those. We need 7 bits of bone meal. Just pop that in there, and we can put those together and make the bits we need there. 7 of those. Put that around here. There's our unfired Crucible furnace. Pop it into the furnace, cook it, and yeah, then we can actually start getting lava production. And this is relatively easy. You just put some cobblestone in the top, and over time that will produce some more lava for us. So I'm just going to pop that there for a second. I didn't actually grab it out of the furnace, did I? There we go. So there's the Crucible, and I've actually been calling it the Crucible Furnace. It's not, it's just called the Crucible. I'm going to get rid of that bit of lava again, bit of cobblestone again, and then just fill this up with cobble. Now, lava isn't the only thing that you can use to heat this. You could have just used a torch, and you can also use netherrack. We haven't got any netherrack at the moment, and lava is faster at smelting down the cobblestone than a torch. So obviously, once we've got that all smelted down and we've got some lava, we're going to need a way to move it about, and that's going to require us to have a bucket. And now that we've got our creosote, that's going to be relatively easy as well. So we just need to grab up some of our glasses, glass bottles. I'm going to grab half of those, and I'm going to pop those in the top here, and they are then all going to fill up. I'm not going to need all of those straight away. And then we're just going to need some normal planks. So let's just turn, for ease, some of these. And then if we go into here, put the creosote bottle in the middle, surround it with planks, and then we'll get treated planks. And then we can turn that into sticks. And then we just need to grab some iron, which I know I've got some about somewhere. It's just a case of finding it. There we go. And we can make the, I forget exactly what it's called now, the hammer, the forge hammer. And we're going to require 3 iron plates in order to do that. That's going to take 6 iron. So we just drop the hammer in there, and it does nothing because I put it in the wrong place. Oh no, it needs to be half and half. So there's our 3 plates. Take the hammer out, put the plates in, and there's our bucket. So, didn't want to throw that on the floor. What is that? Bucket trophy from FTB Trophies. Okay, not really sure what that's about. I certainly didn't make that. Seems that you can just put that down somewhere. I think just for now, I'm gonna pop that in there, and I'll perhaps have a little bit of a read up and see what they're all about. Right. So we've just got to wait for this to smelt down. Now the Whaler information there tells you basically how much solid volume you've got in terms of cobblestone and how much fluid volume you've got in terms of lava. So we've almost got a full bucket there, full bucket's worth. I'm just going to top that up with some more cobble, and I'll be back in a minute when we've got our first full bucket. Okay, so we've got nearly 3 buckets worth of lava in there now. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of those actually and pop those in the smeltery. So that is now good to go. And we can move on to the next item that I want to get done today, which is the auto sieve. Now there are 2 options for this. There's either the Ex one or the Ex Compressum one. I'm actually going to use the Ex Compressum one because it uses less power. I got this from reading an article on the FTB website earlier, and yeah, this uses 40 RF per tick, and the Ex one uses 1180. Power is going to be a bit of an issue for us, certainly in the early game, so we'll go with the Ex Compressum one. And we need a couple of blocks of iron, some iron ingots, a bit of glass, and another sieve. So let's just go and grab some of the outputs up here. I'm going to start off using the, in fact, I'm not going to use the crushed iron. I'm going to see if I've got how much powdered I've got so far. One of the things that I learned from playing other sort of modded Skyblocks is that with the Ex Nihilo stuff, if you start off with the sort of highest form, so the gravel form of the iron, if you then put that into a crafting grid in a 4x4 2x2 formation, then break that down again with the hammer, when it when it breaks, you get the chance of an extra drop. So from gravel to sand, you might get an extra crushed piece of iron. So you can sort of increase the amount of overall iron you can get by sort of following that all the way through down to dust. So we're going to use the dust level, so we haven't got to worry so much about that. We're going to turn that into iron or dust. Now that's just going to give us 12 pieces, so we're actually going to need to grab some more. So just pop that in there for now. Does that not want to go in? It does. We're just going to pop that in there for now, and we'll go and grab the next level up, which is the crushed iron. And that was aluminium. Yeah, grab all that's in there, and we'll do what I've just explained. So into a 4x4 formation, grab that out, do the same with that one. I've got a couple of pieces left over. And those 18 bits, just put those down like this. And then we'll just use the normal hammer to break that down, like so. And we'll see if we do actually get some extra pieces from this. As I say, I'm not sure whether or not that was just specific to the one pack that I was playing, or whether it's mod specific, but we'll soon see. And yeah, so we've actually got another 20 pieces there, so that's actually worked out really well. So that's what we'll be doing going forward. We'll always be making sure that we break it down to its lowest form, which is the dust form. And that will be enough iron to see us through this task. Just waiting for that to finish. That's going to take a few minutes, so I'll be back once that's all smelted down. Okay, so the iron is all finished smelting up now. I've also put some gold in there, and the reason for that is because we are going to need an ingot cast, and in order to make the cast we either need gold or aluminium brass. Well, gold was just easier. And I also remembered that I hadn't made the casting basin, which I've now made, and I'm going to pop that next to it there. So we had another drain and another faucet, and we'll just pop that in there like so. Let's just grab that, make sure we grab that brick and pop the faucet in there. I just hope the contents of that haven't just disappeared. No, they haven't. So first things first, let's get the cast made. So just pop any kind of brick down there. Well, got a couple of sear bricks left. Pop that there, pop the gold on top of it, and that will make us a cast like so. And yeah, we lost the brick, so I'm glad we used a sear brick rather than anything else. And now leave that on there actually. So we need 2 ingots and 2 blocks. So let's get those both running, and then we can get this together. That's first ingot and the first block done. That's both ingots done, so we're just waiting for more block. And while we're doing that, or while we're waiting for that, I'm going to grab our glass out of here, and I'm going to go and turn that into the panes that I need. So we need 4 panes. Obviously we're going to get 16, so that's fine. I'm just going to remind myself of what else it was that we needed. Yes, another sieve. So we've got some more string sitting over here, so we need another couple of the meshes, and that's just one. In fact, it's all of them there. Right, that's those 2. And that's going to be surrounded by a couple of bits of wood and a couple of sticks, which handily we've got sitting around. So that's our oak sieve. I'm just going to pop the string back in here for now, and I'm going to put this crushed iron over here as well, so we don't just start dumping stuff about. And that should be done by now, which it is. Excellent. So we've now got all the bits that we need to put this together in the furnace. So this in the middle, we've got the 2 bits of iron here, bit of glass, or 4 bits of glass there, a couple of ingots, and there is the auto sieve. Now, not sure yet where we're going to put that down. For now, I think just put it here. And yeah, so that's going to require 40 RF per tick. Now, there are a couple of options for getting power early on. We can go, let's just go in for generator first. We can go down the Survivalist Generator route. Now, that is going to require some blocks of coal. So that's quite expensive because we haven't really been getting that much coal. Some furnaces, which is easy enough now. An iron gear, which I'll show you how to do in a minute if we do use this. And then a piston, which, yeah, normal recipe, that's fairly easy. Or we can use the Hobbyist's steam engine, if I can spell that right. Now that's a little bit more expensive, so we're going to need some gold gears, another piston, some glass. And I don't think we've possibly got that much gold. And the other option, there was another option which eludes me at the moment. I can't think what that is at the moment. Anyway, we're going to go with the Survivalist Generator purely because it's the one that I kind of almost always use early game, and the second reason because it just seems less expensive to me. The Hobbyist's steam engine is reliant on water as well as coal. I'm not sure how the fuel usages compare up, but it's a bit of a pain having to get water in there as well when the Survivalist Generator just uses coal on its own. So that's what we're going to go with. So we are going to need to get a gear first of all. So in order to get a gear in this pack, so it's an iron gear that we need. So we just go into iron gear, the correct one here. You can see that you can either use the metal press or the casting table, and in order to use the casting table you need to pour iron into a gear cast. Now the gear cast we can get by making, I believe, a stone gear first of all. Let's just check that we can actually make a stone gear, which we can. So that just requires a wooden gear surrounded by some cobblestone and a wooden gear as is the normal recipe, 4 sticks. So we'll do that one. Let's grab 4 sticks and make ourselves a wooden gear, turn that into a cobblestone gear. Just need to grab some more cobble, would you believe? And we'll put the 4 bits that we need around the outside of that. I think we might need to take it from the wrong place. I think we might need to actually get some more gold in here before we can do this. So let's just go in here. Oh, we've got 4 ingots. That should be enough actually. Let's get that in there, and yeah, it is enough. And now we can go back, grab our iron and make our iron gear like so. And while that's doing that, let's just remind ourselves of what else that we need for this Survivalist Generator. So we've got a couple of bits of redstone, need the furnaces, and then we need a piston. So hopefully, how much iron was that we needed? It's only iron for that. So let's just grab that first of all. So that's wood across the top, bit of cobble, bit of iron, and then let's just go and grab some redstone from in here. Let's grab half of that for now. And pop that underneath like that. And there is our piston. And then, finally we need to grab another bit of this compressed cobble, because I think we're going to need, I think that's enough. No, it's not. It's not anywhere near. That's one furnace. We just need another couple of pieces of that in order to finish that off. And there we go. There are our our 2 furnaces, which they do stack. And then finally, we just need some coal. Now, I'm hoping that I've got 27 pieces of coal. Yes, I have. Coal is actually surprisingly turning out to be one of the items that I feel like I don't have enough of in the game. And I did actually have a look to see how easy it would be to make a harvester and a planter so that we could get an automated tree farm. Yeah, very, very expensive. And yeah, while we're on the subject, actually, I want to automate this. And I did think about using the item duct. Again, that's really expensive because you need hardened glass. And in order to get hardened glass, you need the induction smelter. So we're going to use a hopper underneath to pull the stuff out. And in order to automatically pour it in, I think we're going to have to use the redstone clock. But I'll do that off camera. Let's grab the gear. Let's put all these bits together so that we've got our source of power. So I think it was a gear just here, 3 bits of that across the top, a piston just there, and like that. No, wrong way around. So that goes there, and then 2 bits of redstone underneath. And there is our first bit of, our first power source. So I want to put a couple of slabs under here so they're not floating in midair, and just make sure that nothing can spawn on top of these, which it can't. That's good. And now, if we just pop some coal, in fact, can we use some of this coal coke to make it last a bit longer? Maybe we can. Yes, we can. And that then is now going to start to fill this up with power. And we can get some of this cobble automatically smelting down into, but there's only one slot. Does that work like that? Ah, you've got to turn that into gravel first. That machine is really loud, so I'm actually just going to turn the volume of that down a little bit. Where would that be? There's note blocks. Ambient environment. Yeah, let's just turn all of that down. Yeah, that's actually a little bit better. So I'm going to get some more gravel, and I'll be back when I've got that. Okay, so we've got some gravel. I'm just going to pop that in there, and that is now going to slowly start to output. Yeah, so it's consuming 40 RF per tick, and this is making, I'm not really sure how much it's making. Know that it even tells you how much it makes, but anyway, it is what it is. So it's not making a huge amount, but it'll work away slowly, and it's a good start. If we need to make another one of these just to boost the power up, that wasn't massively expensive. I'll just need to do some more sifting, otherwise we're going to run out of coal. And yeah, I'm a bit concerned this has only got the 1 slot, so I suppose the way forward there will be to make a hopper. Hopefully that recipe hasn't changed for that. Yeah, so we just got some iron ingots in a chest. I think have we got 5 ingots left in here? Yes, we have. In fact, we can pull out another full block of iron there. That's good. And I think I'd like to keep these casts organised, so we'll make another chest just to keep our casts in. I think the worst thing that you can do on this pack is start to get unorganised, to be honest. I think if we just pop a slab there and put the chest right next to it, then we can put that in there. Just make sure nothing's going to spawn on there, which it isn't. Good. And grab our block of iron. We need to get another chest, like so. Need to turn that into ingots, and yeah, so pop that there. And I can't even remember how to make a simple thing now. It's this late night recording. Right, there we go. So there's a hopper. And shift, click that on top. And now we'll be able to put more gravel in there. And I'll fill that up. I'll probably even put a chest on top of this. And I don't know if this auto outputs if you put a chest next to it. That's something I definitely need to read up on. And also what this slot is for. I think I read that you can put some kind of enchantment in there to make this work faster. But I'll read up a bit more on that anyway in between episodes. And I think we've possibly run out of time now. We've certainly made a little bit of progress towards automating things a little bit more. That is going to certainly help us quite a lot. In the next episode, I really want to get to work on making the blast furnace because we're going to need quite a lot of steel later on, and certainly the next logical upgrade to the auto sieve, which is the heavy auto sieve, uses quite a bit of steel, and steel is quite slow to make. So yeah, I think we can get the blast furnace made in the next episode, and we'll perhaps tackle making the thermionic fabricator, because then we can really sort of start to move forward. And last thing I'm going to do is just make sure that this is remaining filled up with cobble. So as always, thanks ever so much for joining me. I hope you've liked the video. If you did, drop us a like, and in the meantime, take care. Bye.